are back for another Tales from the Pit. Today we are doing cedar, wood plank salmon, and bang bang shrimp. Let's get to it. What's up, gang? You looking for something different from barbecue? I got shrimp, I got salmon. I'm Sonny's Barbecue head pit master, Shannon, and today we're doing both of these. Let's get to it. Okay, so our first recipe today is our cedar plank salmon. I love this recipe. Healthy, quick, easy, and it's great if you only have a grill at home and you don't have a smoker. Still have that wood smoke, that nice mild smoke that you can get without having to have a smoker. So the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna create a rub. As we do for most of our proteins, or most of the things we do, we have to create a rub. All right, first thing we have is some smoked paprika. Got a little bit of kosher salt and some of that 18 mesh black pepper. Really good, got a little bit of spice to it, feels good, tastes good. Mix this up. Now, I do have these salmon fillets on wood planks. These wood planks have been soaking for 2 hours. You have to soak them because once they go onto your grill, they're gonna cook. These wood planks are gonna cook, which is ultimately gonna cook that salmon. So make sure you soak them for at least 2 hours. That's really important so that they absorb a lot of that moisture and they don't burn on your grill. All right, we're gonna season this fish and make sure you use all of this rub that you created. You wanna cover this fish and realize that salmon doesn't have a lot of intramuscular fiber or a lot of intramuscular fat, which means that saltiness is not there. A lot of your flavor is gonna come from the rub you put on it, so you gotta cover it. That's why we use a healthy bit of kosher salt and a good amount of that smoked paprika. Just gonna cover this whole thing, all the fillets. All right, next step is we're gonna take these planks, we're gonna take them on over to the grill, get them onto our grill, which is gonna be set at 450 degrees. Really important. It's a quick cook. It's gonna cook at 450 degrees with the lid closed. It's gonna kind of create a nice little steam in there. It's gonna get a lot of aromatics going from these rubs, and we're gonna have a really nice salmon when we're done. Okay, so I got my cedar planks down on my grill right here. This grill is firing hot at 450 degrees. Remember, this is a quick cook, okay? You can see it's starting to kind of brown a little bit. that salmon's starting to break down. Some of those juices are starting to come out. So keep an eye on it. Should take roughly around 12 to 15 minutes for this salmon to be completely done and at a temperature of 130 degrees. So we're gonna close this lid back up, let it finish off, and we'll end up pulling this at 130 degrees. All right, so we have our salmon on that grill over there. You can hear it popping back there, which sounds kind of cool. So with that, we have to make a sauce, right? We have to make this really cool dill cream sauce. So first thing we're gonna start with is a base of mayonnaise. Goes in. So I got some creamy horseradish sauce. I like the horseradish because it's got a little bit of pungent kick to it. It's got a little bit of acidity, which I really love, so in goes that. One of my favorite earthy seasonings would be dill. Fresh is good. Don't get the stuff that's already pre-chopped. Fresh dill works and it goes a long way. I got a little bit of garlic powder here. Some Dijon mustard. Now we're talking about balance here. That's super important. There's got a couple of sweet elements that I got coming up, but the acidity and the sweet have to kind of balance with one another. So this is a good recipe for that, and it's great on fish. It's also a good beef sauce, so it's a nice little pairing of sauce that can go on either or. Some lime juice, just to kind of break up some of that mayonnaise. And last but not least, a little bit of honey. So you get all that out of there, like so. All right, we're just gonna whisk this up. Mix it really well. This is a good sauce, but it can't sit out. Make sure if you're salmon's still back there cooking, you stick it in the fridge, let it chill, let those flavors kind of marinate together. An hour kind of minimum would be recommended. But if needs be, it can go right onto your fish right away. We'll set that off to the side. I'm gonna go check on the salmon, see how it's progressing back there. We're looking for an internal temperature of 130 degrees. Make sure you're cooking that at 450 degrees on your grill. Let's check and see how we're doing. So we're taking a look at it. It's at 131 right now, 130.5. It's at 124-ish. You want to temp each one. This one's at 131. We're going to pull these out because we want them to rest. We don't want to overcook our salmon. That's super important. If you overcook salmon, there's no coming back from that. They're going to hold, they're going to rest for a little bit, so they're going to climb another 5 to 7 degrees. So it's okay to pull them a little bit early so that they can just rest and that those pores can seal back up. Gosh, there is really nothing more than I love than fresh salmon. And when you do them on cedar planks, I don't know if there's anything better than that, to be completely honest with you. We created a really dope sauce with dill, which is obviously near and dear to my heart as one of my favorite seasonings. And we grilled some lemons because we want to make it look nice. Put some lemons right around it. Makes it look nice and pretty. You can squeeze a little bit on top if you like, but then you just take some of this sauce and you're just gonna finish it right on top of your salmon. Just right over top. Like that. And who would have thought that you could have that nice wood taste when you don't have a smoker? Listen, you got a grill, you got these cedar planks here. They do the same thing. Awesome, 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 awesome flavor. Just a little bit more right there. Stick that aside. Got a little bit of dill right here. We're gonna finish it right on over top. Of our salmon. How's that look? Right? It's kind of like looks so pretty that you don't want to eat it, but I think I am. In typical Shannon fashion, I gotta try what we made here and see how we did. So let's give it a whirl. Okay. First of all, I feel healthy because I'm eating salmon, number one. Number two, it was super juicy. I don't know what those cedar planks did to it, but it was like it infused some moisture inside of that salmon, and I thought it was fantastic. But man, I hope you get to try this salmon out. But in the meantime, let's jump to our bang bang shrimp recipe. All right, so let's dig into it. Our bang bang shrimp. We have to create a rub. We need a marinade, all right? This thing is gonna have to marinate for at least an hour. Shrimp are very much void of any flavor. So the only flavor we're gonna have is the flavor we inject into it. So here's our rub and this is how we do it. Now this is a wet rub, something a little different than we do with our normal protein, so pay attention. Got a little bit of onion powder here. Now you always wanna start with the seasoning because with the wet marinade, is that the actual wet ingredient is gonna help bind it all together. Got some 18 mesh black pepper. Got a little cumin here. Now be careful with cumin. It's one of my favorite seasonings, but it can be pretty strong, so be very careful with the amount that you're putting in it. Measure it out right. A little bit of smoked paprika. Some kosher salt. A little bit of Italian seasoning, right? A little bit different, something that we don't really use on our pork ribs or beef. So gonna taste a little bit different, but it's gonna be very flavorful. A little bit of lime juice. And last but not least, a little bit of garlic paste. Kind of like the broken down of the garlic clove. crushed down. Gives it a nice, really smooth flavor without the roughness of having the chopped up garlic in there. And to bind all this together, we're gonna do a little bit of olive oil. That's it. Now you're just gonna mix this really, really well, okay? You want every shrimp in this mixing bowl to have seasoning on it, right? And once again, you're gonna have to marinate this for 1 hour minimum. 1 hour minimum. You could do 30 minutes, but it's not gonna be as flavorful if you give it a full hour. And also, you could do this overnight. The longer you let it marinate, the more powerful it's gonna be, but 1 hour minimum is where you wanna be at. All right, so we're done with that. We're gonna transfer this to a plastic bag because we want this to marinate in there, and we're gonna transfer this plastic bag to our refrigerator to marinate for 1 hour minimum. Make sure you get all the air out of it. That's super important. All right, to the fridge this goes. We're gonna grab the ingredients for the bang bang sauce, and I'll be back. All right, so our shrimp are marinating. I feel great about those. There's a lot of great seasonings in those, so that wet marinade I think is gonna be fantastic. But on the other side, we need to make our shrimp sauce, which means our bang bang shrimp sauce. All right, let's do it. Bang bang shrimp. It's a creamy sauce. It starts with a base of mayonnaise. All right, after mayonnaise, I got some sweet Thai chili sauce. And this is what really gives that bang bang its real flavor. This Thai chili sauce has some sugars in it. It has some red pepper flakes, has some really good stuff in it. With it being a little bit spicy, you want to offset that just a little bit with some honey. If I wasn't crazy enough as is, I'm going to add a little bit more red pepper flakes and finish it off with some sriracha sauce. Now I know what you're thinking. Oh my God, this is a really spicy sauce. Trust me, between the honey and the mayonnaise, it really kills off a lot of that spice. It's a very creamy sauce. It pairs well with all that egg, all that dairy inside that mayonnaise. It's gonna be a fantastic bang bang sauce. All right, we're gonna mix this all together. Get ourselves a nice kind of reddish pinkish sauce here. All right. Now, one thing we do want to do is let this kind of sit and marinate for at least an hour. All right, so you're gonna take this to the refrigerator. Remember, mayonnaise-based sauce needs to kind of refrigerate, needs some time to kind of sit. All those flavors need to kind of get together to marinate. So this goes into the refrigerator. We're gonna kind of check on our shrimp. We got probably another 45 minutes for those to marinate, and then we're gonna get them on to our smoker. See you in just about 45. All right, here I am with our marinated shrimp. They've been in the fridge for right at about an hour and 25 minutes. So I know they're nice and marinated, feel good about them. I transferred them from that plastic bag to a couple smaller baking sheets. Now, you can use baking sheets. You can also use a wire rack. Either one that you have will be really good. You want to make sure that they're really separated because you need that airflow from your smoker to hit every shrimp here, all right? It's gonna be a quick cook, right around 20 to 25 minutes. So get them going, get them on your smoker. We're headed on over there now. Get our shrimp on, let's do it. All right, so I got the bang bang shrimp on. They're gonna be on now you wanna cook them between 275 and 300 degrees. It's a quick cook. It's gonna be on for roughly about 20 to 25 minutes. So you're gonna have to keep an eye on them, set a timer, come back and check on them. These shrimp are gonna be done when they're they're pretty opaque and they're starting to harden up a little bit. All right, when you pull them off, they're gonna finish kind of cooking up once they kind of cool down a little bit. So keep an eye on them. Once you overcook shrimp, they're not gonna be any good. So let's close this lid. Let's get these shrimp cooking. Look at these shrimp, boy. Fire. And when I mean fire, there's fire coming out the bottom, but they smell fire and they look fire. One thing I did during the cooking process, I tossed them around a little bit because I wanted to get that crust built on all sides, A. And B, I wanted all the shrimp to cook. If they're piled up together, if there's not enough spacing in between, you're gonna need to toss them around a little bit, but you can see that they're starting to harden a little bit. You can see that they turned a little bit pink. So I feel like they're ready. So I'm pulling these babies off. It's time to get lost in the sauce. All right, these shrimps look fantastic. And like I said, it's time to get lost in the bang bang sauce. So I'm gonna transfer these shrimp over to my bowl here. Take off my gloves. All right, that one may still be hot. So we're not gonna grab a hot tray. Grab that here. We'll transfer all of our shrimp into the bowl. Like so. Just one tray, and we'll do our other one. Right. All right. We're gonna take that bang bang sauce that we had earlier, and it's going right over the top of our shrimp. We're just gonna toss these nice and gently. Like so. Here. And we'll just plate them up. A nice, healthy, heaping pile of bang bang shrimp. Remember, most bang bang shrimp, they're fried and then they're tossed in the sauce. So we're doing something a little bit different. We're actually smoking them, which is a way, way different kick. And then we're tossing them in our bang bang, our homemade bang bang. And we got some left over. So you know me, you know what I got to do. Here we go. Oh my gosh. You know the best thing about that recipe is that I'm really able to taste every layer of flavor that we put on that. I taste all that season. That cumin really came out heavy, hot, and hard. I taste a lot of that garlic paste, which is really yummy. And then I get a little bit of heat on the back end from those chili flakes and some of that sriracha sauce. So really fantastic recipe, flavorful. If you love flavor, you're gonna absolutely dig this. So I hope you guys enjoyed the lighter side of our barbecue, our wood plank cedar salmon and our bang bang shrimp. Thank you for joining us today. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And once again, make sure you comment because we want to hear from you. We want to know if you love this or if you want to see videos like this in the future. I'm Sonny's head barbecue pitmaster Shannon. I'll see you next time.